Hi, I'm Joshua Farley.
And I'm Marcus Soto.
And this is Inside Our Industry. If you need something on a time and material service calls, we do pretty much on a time and material basis. Where something breaks or you need something added after the fact, you call in. You get the gal on the phone. You tell her what you want. She goes, all right, when do you want to start? And then we put it on the schedule.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Then we do it, and that's it. End of podcast.
That's it.
We get a 10-star review.
It's a pretty easy process. You just call our office. Service calls are done on a time and material basis, which just means the time that the technician's working on your project and the material it takes for that technician to do your project is typically how we build that. So
we model our business off of the success that we've had in the field, off of the success I had in the field working for somebody else. So, our process on any good service process, when you talk about a service call, we want to keep the customer informed. So we want to call them when we're on their way. We use the software to remind them of their appointment.
Yep.
Which not necessarily, sometimes it's not necessary, right? When I put something on my calendar, it's on there. Like I know I'm going to be there. That's all there is to it. Sometimes I get invited to things and the people call me to make sure that I've got it, or they call me an hour before. Are you still coming? We don't want to annoy the client, right? But we want to call them when we're on their way. We want to check in with the client when we get there. So we're always checking in with the homeowner or the business owner or the manager of the business to make sure that they know we're here. Mm-hmm. And then we want to go over the work that we're going to be doing.
Right. And some of those clients do appreciate the extra communication, just a heads up, you're still on the schedule for Tuesday this week, or you're still on the schedule for tomorrow. And then just that going above and beyond with the phone call, letting them know that we're on our way, we'll be there in the next half an hour or 45 minutes. They definitely appreciate the communication.
No, you're right. And another thing we do is we show up in marked vehicles. So everybody in our company that's running service is in a company vehicle that says Redline Electric and Solar. It's got our ROC number on it. We're wearing Redline Electric and Solar shirts. We're branded, right? So we want to make sure that we're presenting ourselves and making sure that you feel comfortable that you hired a professional. You're paying for the work that you're doing. You want to hire a professional. So many times I see a guy show up, like even for stuff I do, like they show up in an unmarked van. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's nothing on his shirt. Yeah. I don't know who he is. There's just there's so many questions that I have to answer before we can get started. So having the marked vehicle, having the shirt, having all those things in place answers those questions before we even start.
And there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of chucking a truck going on, whether it's in electrical or plumbing or kind of any of the construction industries. And
trades,
trades. Yeah, trades in general. And, it's just a little bit above for us to, put everything on our trucks, on our shirts, everywhere so that everybody knows that we're a licensed professional contractor and we're going to get the job done right.
Well, we do that because our insurance covers our vehicles. It covers anything that were to happen out on the road with our technicians. That's the thing. So I know other contractors, they don't. Their guys run their own trucks and they're responsible for their own stuff. So you want to make sure that when you're paying, it obviously depends on what you're paying. Like we charge a reasonable rate for the service we provide. Are we the cheapest in town? No. Are we the most expensive in town? No.
No.
You want to start talking about pricing, which we can talk about pricing in the next episode. But you get what you pay for, and we want to make sure that we're a professional outfit. So let's go. Okay, so now we're out. We've already talked to you about what's going to happen. What are we going to do? We're gonna go in. We're going to look at the job. Guys are trained to map out what they're going to do. They're going to look at anything. Or they used to say measure twice. Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to look through it all before we get started so we can find the best route. The technician's going to find the best route from point A to point B.
Yeah, and they're gonna do, when they do that, they're gonna figure out everything that they need to be able to complete that job. And then from there, they're gonna start that job.
Most service trucks have baseline material on it. So a lot of times we'll start the job, we'll start doing the work, we'll actively engage in what the scope of work is, and then we won't go to the supply house until we get to a spot where we need something that's not necessarily on our truck.
Yeah.
And we're going to charge that time, so that technician knows what he needs. If it's not on our truck, and we try to stock our trucks with the most things possible. Most service companies try to stock their trucks with as much as they can, so they don't have to go to the supply house, because they want to get it done just as fast as you guys want to get it done. But we charge to go get those parts because we have to, right? If we didn't, we've had customers ask us, hey, what if I supply the parts? Well, that's fine. My technician's still going to be waiting there charging you, because it's the time that he's got on your project, whether it's driving to the supply house, getting parts for your job, or standing there waiting on you.
Right.
It's the same price, and that's most service companies do that.
Yeah. And our service trucks, like you said, our service trucks have service bodies on them, or shelves in the back that anything can be stocked in. It's just we can only fit so many things, and if it's something that we don't use on a daily basis, then it's not usually on there.
Let's talk about during work or right before work. So if you had anything that you want to change, now's the time to say it, right? You got a guy out there doing service at your house. You want to make sure that you talk to him and tell him you want to change some things before he gets started or before he's done. That way you're not paying for things twice. We want to make sure we're utilizing the resources as we can. And we, as a service base, as most service companies do, they want to make sure that you're getting what you paid for, and not necessarily what you paid for, but more importantly, what you want.
Mm-hmm. And we want the job to go as efficiently and as quickly as possible as well, right? We got other jobs we got to get to. We got a lot of things we got to do. So we want all of our jobs to go as efficiently and as best as possible.
Totally.
For the customer.
So don't be afraid to speak up for what you want, because that, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want what you want.
Yep.
Show me the project, right? Show me the project. Show me what you want. So then after the work is done, our technicians will clean up. Most good service calls, most service trucks have a broom or a vacuum and stuff in the truck. So we're going to be cleaning up after we're done. We're going to walk the project with you after we're done, make sure that everything that you expected was taken care of. If you're not home, then we can't do that. Yep. Or if you're not there, we can't do that. But we take pictures of stuff. If you can request pictures. If you're not there, we'd be happy to send pictures. And then the invoice, which the invoicing is the hardest part for a technician to do. So we're going to get with you. Yep. We want to make sure after we're done clarifying that we did what we said we were going to do, we want you to do what you say you're going to do, right? So we provide an invoice, and some technicians have a problem giving invoices. Yep. And I don't know if it's empathy or what the deal is, but there's been so many I was guilty of it when I first started. Yep. I was like, well, here's the bill. Mm-hmm. Can you please pay me?
I did it.
I was so timid about it, but now, now I know I'm providing. I know the value of what I'm providing. But even now, we've got guys that just don't want to collect any money. They want us to do it in the office, or they feel bad. Yep. Why do you think they feel bad?
I think you're right. I think you hit it on the nose. I think it's the empathy. I think that maybe some of them aren't valuing what they did as much as it is valued or it should be valued. Right. They're not used to it. It's not part of what they do. Like their profession, their specialty in this world is working with their hands and doing a good job being an electrician, and that's kind of the administrative part of it a little bit. And I think sometimes it just makes them feel awkward.
Yeah, I think that, or maybe the thought of confrontation.
Yeah, maybe the confrontation.
No? Yeah. Like, what if the customer says no?
Yeah.
It's like asking that girl out on a date. What if she says no? I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
I'm just not. If the answer's, but the answer's always no if you don't ask. So,
and customers usually ask us, about the bill when we give it to them on site.
Well, I think it's expected, right? I think it's expected on a time and material basis that you go through.
They just want to break down pretty much.
And what are we breaking down?
It's easy for the technician to describe, this is the work that we did, this is how long I was working on your project, and this is kind of the material that I used on your project. Right. So it's pretty easy to break it down.
And every now and then there's always a customer who says, oh my gosh, this is too high. Or this was more than I expected.
Yep.
But those expectations are usually handled up front. Like, we want to negotiate up front. Even that one that comes to mind, it's the only one that's in my mind. still gave us a 10 out of 10, because of the work we did. I think that they just had different expectations, and we have to do a better job in the office of managing those expectations.
Well,
when
it comes to a service call, we don't always know what we're getting into.
Right.
We can only see so much when we're looking at a job. Once we start opening things up, once we start doing our job, things pop up and that we need to fix to make sure that everything's safe. And sometimes that can cause a little extra time on jobs or projects.
Right. If we're given like a ballpark, hey, we think it's going to take about 4 hours or whatever, and then we open the ceiling up and find something totally different than we thought was inside the walls, which is a normal construction. We have to base things off of industry standards, and then we get in there and we find something, wait, there's like duct work that we didn't know was coming through, and now we got to go find a different route to go around it.
Right.
Which also ends up cascading down to, hey, I don't have the part that I need to do that, so now I got to go to the supply house again. It's funny too, because my wife always laughs that every time I do a project at home, she's like, you got to go to Home Depot at least 3 times. So I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but there's times where times where I'm like, I do the project, she doesn't even know, because I never told her that I was going to Home Depot. Because the only time she ever hears about me doing something is like, hey, I got to run to Home Depot. She's like, again? Like, you didn't see the last 4 projects I did that I didn't have to go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
So if you want to negotiate, that's fine. Like, we negotiate with clients all the time. I don't expect somebody to spend a ton of money without negotiating or getting a second opinion. Like, that's fine. But most of our service calls are just time and material. They know our hourly rate. We have a 2-hour minimum. So they know up front going in. But like when we're doing an estimate, like by all means, if you want to negotiate or look at different ways to save money or try something different, there's conversations to be had. So I like those conversations. I want to know what you're thinking, because I can't read minds. And when I come into a place, I think from point A to point B as an electrician. I don't think from point A to point B as your homeowner, right? Because my house is different than your house, and I have different needs and wants than you. So by all means, speak up. Like when somebody's at your house doing service for you, you're the customer. You want to make sure you're getting what you want, what you pay for, and if those expectations don't align, then it leaves a bad. Then we have to go. Okay, now we've got bad reputation.
Yeah, and we want to do a good job for our customers. That's how we get repeat business from our customers, right?
Totally.
We want to do a great job for them, so that next time they need something, they give us a call again.
Yeah, and we want to manage our reputation, right?
Yeah,
so we're managing because we've got a good reputation, and it's because we do the right thing every time. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, we're going to make it right. We're going to work with you. If we did something, we're going to own our outcomes, right? Those are our values. We're going to own up to it, and at the end of it, we're going to ask you to review us. And we want feedback. We don't care if it's good, bad, or indifferent. We want it. We learn from the ones that are bad and indifferent, right? We learn from those things, and we also learn like where we're excelling. So we know if we get a great feedback, we know who was out there. We know what job it was, what kind of material we use. So we use those things to better ourselves in the back end. Hey, this guy was extremely pleased with the product that we're using. That's good, because we trust the product that we're using, but now we have more trust because you guys like it.
Well, I like the good feedback. Everybody likes good feedback, right? But I actually like the bad feedback better. It helps us learn. Yeah. It helps us learn how to do a better job for our customers. It helps us know where the holes in any part of our process is, if any. It just kind of lets us know what we could be doing better. Yeah. So I like the feedback just because I think it's a learning experience.
Me too. So if you get anything from this, tell us exactly what you want, even if it's different than what you called in for originally. Don't let the technician tell you what you want. So like the old saying, like, don't let the tattoo artist tell you what you want. Like, don't let the technician tell you what you want, or you'll end up getting a sailor with the word mom on it, like, I don't even like. So you want to make sure your expectations are met. Feedback, provide feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. Don't feel bad. A lot of people feel bad, right? They don't want that confrontation. That's what it is. Like, they don't want confrontation. It's not confrontation. We really want it. We learn from it. It's value. There's more value there than you think. So please don't be afraid. And then make sure, if you're getting good service, leave positive reviews. Get out there. Take it upon yourself to leave positive reviews. Businesses live and die right now by positive reviews online and the amount that they're asked. So if we've done work for you and you're happy, give us a positive review. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
What else is there on a service call? I mean, there's pretty much anything.
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty much
top
right
to
through.
bottom. Yeah.
If you think we left anything out, or if you have any more questions, put it in the comments below.